that energy, that combative energy, you know, it is a little bit of an ego inflator. So I start to get fired up. I see my brother kicking ass. I see KSI kicking ass. I'm like, oh, I want to kick some ass again. So I did. I made the call out video. Full on. Called out Andrew Tate. I know what a viral fucking video looks like. Shit would have gone viral. Except it wasn't quite me. It wasn't quite, excuse me.
I thought that might have been.
So that happens in my throat from time to time. It's become a huge sticking point in my relationship.
And
I'll be kissing my girlfriend and I'll pull back and I won't move my mouth and you'll hear.
Yes, because it's very like gas bubbles.
It's
very like Kong back in the.
But it happens an uncomfortable amount of times
when you're like looking at each other romantically.
Baby, I don't know. And so yeah, I made a call out video, but the issue is. I've just grown up.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I've changed, and the way you provoke as a 27-year-old is different than the way you provoke as a 23-year-old. In the video, I was like, yo, you're fucking poor compared to me. Yeah, what else did I say?
I got a Pokemon card worth 3-year Bugattis.
Like 2-year Bugattis. Like, I went in and I sent it to the team, and it was mixed, but we ended on don't release the video, right? Whatever, like life will fall into play as is. And
not too long after that,
Andrew Tate got banned from the internet.
From everything.
Andrew Tate banned from this social media platform, and then the domino effect. Now he's
how do we feel about like that's where he's gonna go if you just give him? That's where he's leading. He's trailing us right into.
Oh, I'm getting there. I'm getting there, brother. I'm holding your hand through this mountain.
I appreciate it.
All right. So you know. I guess in a way, although I was disappointed I couldn't post this video, which I again believe would have gotten a lot of traction, life really worked out because now you're in a situation where, and we're gonna dive into Andrew Tate, I don't feel like platforming this guy. I don't feel like giving him the blessing of being my dance partner in the ring, especially after the social media platforms have made it very clear how they feel about this guy, right? And I would even put a little call out here to like fellow creators and even JJ, like, you want to re-platform this guy? Anyone? You want to have him on your shows? You want to give him another opportunity to speak and spread his agenda? Because whether you believe it or not, the shit that Andrew Tate is saying will have a ripple effect much more dangerous than you can imagine, because his narrative is truly hateful. His rhetoric has extreme negative energy in it, and it will affect impressionable young people in a way that will not show until years from now, and it is dangerous. So now we're going to get into the conversation of censorship, right? Because people, slippery slope, freedom of speech. You want to say what you want to say. But you can't do that when your platform that you want to spread your word on is privately owned and money is a factor. Mm-hmm. The companies that Andrew Tate is spreading his speech on have a bottom line to hit. Their sole objective is to make money. Now, if you have a bad actor who's smart, who is a good orator,
cunning,
keen,
cunning,
the guy knows how to speak. His takes, some of them have merit.
Yep, absolutely.
Some of them are disgusting.
Yep, absolutely.
Right? So like, say he has 4 good takes and you're like, oh, I see how that makes sense. One then is fucked up, right? So when Andrew Tate, to the people watching his content in a entertaining way, in a way that he can lead you from thought A to thought B in a cohesive way, when he becomes your idol, your God, the person you look up to as a creator online, because that's what kids are doing nowadays, right? You're at home. Sure, you have your parents. Sure, you have your friends. But who do you admire online? Who are you watching? Who's influencing you? Influencers. Influence. Andrew Tate had a lot of it, right? When the one take comes out that says something, women are your property.
If your friend has a heart attack, you're not going to give him CPR because that's gay. If it's a dude, like there's a million different fucking takes that are ridiculous.
He said that?
Yes, and you're right. They're mixed in with some takes that are motivational, that are inspirational, that do have some merit to them. We talked about this on the show with Jake. The issue becomes the sentiment and how the person is received is dependent on the audience member, and his audience is a very young, impressionable, inexperienced crowd of young men who, by the way, fit into a current visceral uprising that exists in this world to overthrow some longstanding movements towards the further validation and credibility of women and other protected parties. And, you know, like, I don't know that I have so much of a problem with him, you know, boosting men and making men feel like powerful in their place, but the question just becomes at what cost? And I think we some of his takes have represented what that cost could potentially be.
And you always have to remember, at the end of the day, again, the platforms that ban him can do whatever the fuck they want. Talk about your freedom of speech all you want.
That's what he's calling out.
Okay, calling out what though? Because freedom of speech, go for it, brother. You can say whatever you want. Go in the courtyard of the mall,
scream,
stand on a fucking table and say whatever you want. But when you are now at the mercy of, you know, an organization that has brought you the visibility that you so desperately seek, and now you want to not play by the rules, like, that's just not going to work.
Well, so the question there becomes, and the question that the anti-censorship side is asking is, at what point does a legislative or government body step in to regulate what a private org that acts as the mouthpiece of the public can do in these situations? So that's where the question is starting to fall. Because right now, there is no legislative body that can say Twitter can ban this person, Instagram can ban this person. Censorship is a slippery slope. Yes, I agree with that.
Does there need to be a governing body to decide? No, there doesn't, bro. The fucking
but otherwise,
at Twitter
and by the way, you know where I stand on this. We made a lot of jokes when this stuff was first coming up, and you guys made the jokes about me shaving my head, blah blah blah, so on and so forth, and it led to, you know, him following me probably and saying this guy is going to be an ally, which he now knows that I'm not. Okay, and has called me out multiple times and called me Logan Paul's boyfriend.
Well, you are my boyfriend.
Yeah, maybe.
As I'm yours, brother.
The relationship.
My thoughts are this. I don't like the censorship. I said this before, but after the Dana White conversation, this is the last time we brought up censorship, I thought about it because I watched what I said back and I was like, do I agree with what I said? And I had like this learning moment. It's like, I don't agree with what I said. I'm taking back my first thing I said on the podcast. I think the platforms have every right to do what they want. It's kind of like if you're using their vehicle, you got to respect them. You know what I mean? You got to respect their rules and regulations. It's their vehicle. Like you said, it's their platform. They put you at this. But if you kind of go in a direction, they're like, hey, man, I don't want you using my platform to take it in this direction. Pin that. That's my thought for that. But my other thing is this, the Me Too movement. When it first came out, it was sick. We were taking out sons of bitches that should have been taken out years ago.
Yep.
But what happened after that is they used this is what they did. They go, this is a good thing. This is a good thing. And then they come around from the back and then they start attacking people that they shouldn't attack. So I don't have any problem with taking out a guy that's obviously putting out hateful messages and rising up men that like are wanting to beat or mislead women. Absolutely needs to go if that's the case. I've never watched any of his shit to make an assumption like that. But my overthought is maybe we do need something with the government because these platforms are, at the end of the day, very powerful. So like if you're like a gun company, right? It is America. We build guns. Or not here, sorry guys. But like, we build guns. But there's also the government. There's rules, right? Like, hey, like for both sides of the party. Social media is getting to the point where it is people's careers, it's their livelihoods. And also they have like a community that follows them and lives by them. So I'm just talking about overall general, there should be a good middleman that's like, hey, no, that's like not that bad, and no, it is that bad, and you should get rid of it.
Well, okay. I had this conversation with someone because where's the line for censorship? Where do you draw your line in the sand? Is it when someone's rhetoric is leading to violence?
So that's one of them.
Right? Is it when someone's rhetoric is
racism
leading to death? Yeah. Are you allowed to be sexist and racist online because you know what kind of agenda that perpetuates? Or should we nip it in the butt before some bad shit happens? That's what I'm saying. Like, what does it take? What does it take for one personally to go, you know what? That person probably shouldn't be given a voice on a platform, right? Because when you have, again, a smart, articulate, entertaining orator that kind of makes sense sometimes and has a shitload of visibility and now has an army of people subscribing to his agenda, that's a actually a dangerous agenda. And we've seen this time and time again in history where charismatic leaders with negative, dangerous agendas and platforms and visibility get given an opportunity to spread their word, and then bad shit happens. So where's your line in the sand? Do we want to let Andrew Tate keep doing this before his subscribers of little fucking TikTok schoolboys start doing negative, bad shit to women and inspire?
No, they already are. It's already spawning. But listen, his rhetoric is already starting to spawn a full-on next wave of little baby gimp Andrew Tate children. You can see them. They're starting to rise up. And here's the issue. They're not as well-spoken. They're not as they don't have a few good takes. They're on the internet talking terrible about women, talking terrible about a lot of things that he probably understands at his 37-year-old age point that these people just don't get. And they're getting the same level of respect from the audience, and they're starting to build audiences of their own. And so you're already starting to see the ripple effect of it.
Yeah. So how bad do we want to let it get? When we know where it's going to lead, you know how this ends. We've seen it.
It's just weird too, because it fits into an ongoing wave of this type of activity. I'm telling you, I've been saying it on the show for a long time now. TikTok is vicious. Is a vicious community of this type of activity. You go in the audience, you got a guy and a girl arguing, and the people in the audience, all dudes. I believe in equal rights and lefts. Equal rights for women and equal lefts too. You know what I'm saying? Like the jokes about violence towards women, about that type of activity are at a height right now because of what I described in the last show, which was that massive pendulum swing to the left that started to support all of these rights and all of these new movements has to swing back. And this is that swinging back. And you're starting to see that community and that groundswell.
It's like an anti-woke.
Correct.
Which
all
right, yeah.
Yes.
Fine.
Correct.
Yeah.
But
Let's do it.
At a limit. Because remember,
that's what I'm saying. Do you have to go all the way?
Exactly, bro. Like, we see this in every single vertical that goes that way, right? I'm sorry. Did I cut you off, by the way?
No. I know you've been waiting to say something. Sorry.
Oh, no. I just want to make sure I didn't cut you off. But I just want to protect the freedom of speech part. That's it. But again,
that's protected.
Again,
and by the way, I don't know what the rules are in the country he lives in, but in the United States, go for it. Yeah, go scream
I'm
at the
just talking
courtyard
about,
table
like,
at the mall.
On the media, but that's the problem. That's like, it isn't America. It's their platform. It's YouTube. It's Instagram. So again, we can't really regardless of what we think, it's not our platform. We can't say what.
Here's the other thing that I want to speak on, because I have a extremely keen and unrelatable understanding of what it's like to be canceled by the entire world.
Why?
Huh?
Just kidding.
I thought he was serious.
So it is interesting for me to watch someone like Andrew Tate be where he was and then get shunned and blacklisted by the platforms that he needs most. As much as he talks about being outside of the matrix, now you're outside the club and we hear you complaining that you can't get in. He had it it wasn't an apology video per se, but it was like an hour plus long video.
I tried to
not available on any of the platforms, obviously.
It was his
little
website.
manifesto, yeah.
Yeah.
I try to watch it, dude, but it was like when somebody starts out with like, okay, it all started when I was 3 in Chicago.
That's another thing.
What
I didn't want to.
So I when I watch these apology videos or these like accountability videos, let's call them, right? I watched this guy who's actually probably fucking evil try to make an accountability video. And again, as someone who's been through it and can safely say I came out on the other side, understanding, empathetic. The man doesn't understand. He does not get it. He is also not a good person. We know the type of shit he says off camera, right? As much as he says, this is a joke, I don't treat women like this, it's a character. No, it's not.
Here's what I'll say. He has built a platform on this return to alpha masculine traditionalist beliefs where, woman at center of household, cooking for the kids, cleaning, raising the kids, man at war, whatever. And he's been spewing this rhetoric now for a long time. the issue is with all of that is he is not a traditionalist in his own life. He has no family. He has no wife. He's 37 years old, 36.
With a Bugatti and a jet.
He has made the majority of his money off of cam girls, OnlyFans management,
Pyramid
and
scheme.
casinos. Okay? The downfalls of the traditionalist male. And so my question is, and my interest and my curiosity is, how can you preach a return to traditionalism and conservatism when your entire platform and your entire net worth is based on the same things that you preach against? That's my curiosity.
Because that's how he makes his money.
No.
Tate's most, his number one ability is to understand the male and the impressionable male who is vulnerable and feels like they need something to fulfill them that he knows how to get when he's pretending to be a cam girl behind the scenes, scamming them out of their
Now,
Bro,
he's called
taking
me
the pharmaceutical approach. Get them sick, give them the medicine.
bingo.
Correct. And he's called me a hypocrite. Here's the thing. I am not, I've said in my book, I've said on the show a million times, I am not your role model. Take the good pieces, take the hope, take the courage, take the drive to continue going against all odds. The way he's delivered his messages have been dangerous since day one. He needs a torque and a full overhaul on the way he delivers his messages.
Do you know how that starts? He needs to change personally, which if everything he said about what he believes is true, he's not going to do. So as of now, my statement stands that I made in your vlog. By 2023, he will not have a sliver of relevancy, hopefully. And yeah, no, fuck him. Fuck him. I'm glad he's gone. I did not like what he was doing. I didn't think it was healthy. And maybe if he would have worked a little smarter, he wouldn't have to be complaining outside of the Matrix about how there is a Matrix. Because what he's describing is just a Freemason, right? You don't want to play by society's rules. You don't want to live in a country that protects you. You don't want healthcare. I mean, he has money, but the things he's describing are an unrealistic Freemason type of life where you get water from the well in your backyard and you don't pay your
Almost
electricity.
like an anarchist.
Cool, bro. That's fucking cool. As you sit inside your jet and trick everyone who's subscribing to your fucking shit and making money off them. Again, that's his number one ability, is to trick dumb men.
Yeah.
Is to trick impressionable, dumb, vulnerable men.
Yeah.
Fuck this.
Also,
Like, we change the subject?
just on a bigger topic, really quick too, besides just Tate, I don't understand. I said this to you yesterday. I don't understand this rush to get red pilled. And we were talking about the red pill, blue pill conversation and how it's become so prominent.
Did you elaborate on what that is for people? that don't know?
So in the movie The Matrix, Neo is given the opportunity, the choice to take either the red pill and to discover the true meaning of life and what the Matrix is and how it controls his mind, or taking the blue pill and continue on living in the Matrix as people know it. And, over the past couple years, the online community, or a small portion of it, by the way, the same small portion who also seems to be obsessed with a lot of the chauvinistic tendencies, a lot of the groundswell that we're seeing in that community is aligned with that red pill, blue pill community. My question is just for me personally, and the reason I say I don't care is because I'm not in a rush to red pill myself. A lot of this community right now is growing, and these streamers and Tate and all these people and Trump and all these people are growing to fight against this liberal agenda. And I'm not saying that that's a problem. I'm not saying that we need to push back on woke and that we need to get a little bit more moderate, right? But woke very much was a bunch of screaming, crying, annoying people. Whiny bitches, both men and women. And now, without even knowing it, it has spawned a conservative group of whiny fucking bitches sitting at a fucking desk complaining about, shut up.
How weird is that?
Slapped, get in the kitchen, masculine men, women have too much rights, shouldn't drive.
Wow.
Shut the fuck up.
What's the opposite of woke?
Sleeping. Put me to sleep. Give me the blue pill and the steak. I'm the guy in the Matrix eating the way the steak tastes, that juicy steak. We have one life. We come here to enjoy it, to live this life, to build a fruitful situation for ourselves, for our friends, for our family. Yes, there will be problems along the way. Yes, there will be obstacles and people that stand to try to take us down. But if you think I'm gonna sit behind my fucking desk like Steven fucking Crowder for 12 hours a day and bitch endlessly about the state of things in this country, you are mistaken.
Yeah.
And make no mistake at all. All of these half-assed attempts to radicalize or redesign male thinking has all of these young kids fooled, like you said. It's all clicks and views. There's no Andrew Tate doesn't give a fuck about society. Tucker Carlson doesn't give a fuck about society. And on the other side, Don Lemon, all these guys on CNN, they don't give a shit. They're gonna say whatever the fuck they want to make you watch and you click.
Bingo.
That's it.
Bingo.
That's it. So that's why I want people to watch and click too.
Yeah.
But I'd rather show you cheeseburgers. I'd rather show you me having a good time. You don't like porn stars, don't watch it. You want to fucking scream radicalization and fix the crying liberals and the bleeding heart liberals.
You can do it at the mall, courtyard, on a table,
or
on top
we'll
of your
give you a
jet.
one-up. We'll give you a one-up. Take it to Rumble. Take it to a platform that literally allows you to do it.
So this is interesting. This is really interesting. Okay, I watched a documentary on Netflix where, I forget the name of it. I was high, I'll be honest with you, but I remember the content. I don't remember much when I'm high. It was a documentary, or it might have been a docuseries about a girl that accidentally dated a white supremacist and sort of like by default and I guess out of love got sucked into this white supremacy world. And what she found was, and why a lot of these like extremely radical groups fall apart is, and who knows if we'll see this happen on Rumble. Is Truth Social?
Yeah, Truth Social.
Is it the same thing? Are these platforms that allow you to really just say whatever you want?
Yeah, well,
and allow anyone to say whatever you want, right? So here's what happens. When you have these people now who seek this ability to say and do whatever you want, and now there's certain platforms providing it, I think it's great, right? Go on those platforms, say whatever you want. The radical folks on those platforms vary. There's a spectrum of radicalness, right? And they don't all agree with each other. But there's people that are at the very end of the spectrum, the opposite end of the spectrum, that are extremely racist, extremely dangerous, believe in really just foul shit that I don't, but that I would like to believe that humanity has grown past.
Yeah.
So they don't agree with each other, even though they're on the same side and they want freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Someone's agenda may be more dangerous and too radical for the radical person.
Yeah.
So then they get in tiffs and don't represent each other, even though they think they're on the same team and they're not. Because when you are making shit up that's solely coming out of what you believe that you may have heard from somewhere else and you're just regurgitating information, it's not always going to line up with the other person who's on that platform.
You're describing the current state of politics in America.
Oh, Jesus.
Literally, the left and right are at war with each other because there's radical rights, moderate rights, people on the middle, conservative, like all over the place. And same thing on the left. You've got fucking wild liberals, you've got AOCs, you've got all these people, and everybody's disagreeing, and the parties are starting to fall apart. So even the radicals don't agree with each other, the moderates don't agree with each other. It's a messy situation, and it's a test and a learning lesson for how we behave as humans. We had to go through this same activity prior to social media. How do we talk to people we don't agree with? Now the question has become scaled and become a massive situation. How do 3 billion people on social media who all have intensely differing viewpoints coexist?
What a nightmare.
Well run by organizations who have their own viewpoints with a legislative body on the side who has its own viewpoints.
Yeah.
And by the way, not just viewpoints, intentions, desires, greed, all of these things thrown into a bubble. And we're just sitting here as the guinea pigs of it, trying to see where it all fucking goes.
Well said. That was beautiful. I mean, you're right. It's a nightmare. It's a fucking nightmare. And it's really interesting that we are alive in a time period where our generation is going to have to do the figuring. We're going to have to figure some shit out.
Figure it out.
You have an answer to your question is because at the end of the day, I can sit here on this podcast and say whatever the fuck I want. And some people are going to agree and some people are going to disagree. And I believe that's supernatural. Like, don't think that because we disagree on, George and I disagree on shit all the time. and we're best fucking friends. Don't think because we disagree, there's not some sort of common ground we can reach, even if it's just agree to disagree. So do you have anything, because I'm planning on being the president of the United States, brother. My goal is to fully unite these states. So what is the answer to the question of how can we get to a place where we can have meaningful conversation that ends with some sort of net positive outcome?
Two answers. One is just empathy and how we speak to each other. If you have a belief set that you know is very core to you and that you want to express, but also can anger or divide an opposing viewpoint, you need to learn how to express those views in a fucking healthy manner, okay? Unless you are doing it for views and clicks. And if you're doing it for views and clicks, like everyone we see, all the pundits, Shapiro, Crowder, AOC, fuck one side or the other. Just to be clear, no one on the show is a woke liberal. No one on the show is even a liberal. We are moderate to conservative. We're not fighting for people to be everybody to be censored. That's not what we're doing here. People need to learn how to talk to each other in a healthy manner. I learned that in the corporate world. I used to sell crack. I was a piece of shit.
Was that the corporate world?
No. And I didn't know how to talk to people. And you know what it got me? Felony charges. My ass beaten. Then I went into a real world environment and learned about chain of command and learned about how to speak to people in a positive manner while also expressing your concerns. The problem is not everyone has that classical training. So you've got a bunch of fucking animals spewing, you fat, ugly, and while Tate may have had great takes, unfortunately, they were said in a way that drove views and clicks and not in a way that was positive for conversation. And end of story. And that's why the almighty algorithm giveth, the almighty algorithm taketh away, and occasionally the almighty algorithm drops its mighty sword and severs the head of someone it doesn't like. You know,
that's biblical, Mike.
Jack, Susan, and Mark Zuck are making those rules. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but listen, I came up in the underworld. I know that there's people you can rough up, there's people you can buy, and there's people who call the shots.
Yeah.
And I ain't fucking with any. I like the platform.
Right. And the steak.
I'm not saying that's okay, but hey, man, YouTube, you got rules, and I'm here to follow them.
Yo, we need the platform. In that way, yeah, we're caught in the matrix. I don't give a fuck. It's great here.
The steak is delicious.
We talk about. I don't want to fucking pump water from the well in my backyard. I don't want to go scream on the table in the courtyard. I want to fucking vibe out with cool people on social media and expand my horizons with things that never could happen 20 years ago because I have an Android device in my hand. I use Apple, by the way. It was more of like a robotic AI tech kind of thing.
You have to go, but I want to ask both of you this.
Yeah.
Is there a potential redemption arc for Andrew Tate?
I've been asking myself this.
Absolutely. Everybody has one.
Yeah, I agree.
Everybody has
I could never for a second say otherwise. And I asked you guys the question, but you go first. Go. Because I changed. My life changed. I was in a terrible place, and look at me now. So I think everyone deserves a fucking.
You guys have been my close friends for a very long time, especially you. You've been almost a decade now. How I react to enemies, each one, and I had one recently that we just talked about. Every single enemy that I look in the eyes, my goal is they don't even know this. It's spiritual warfare. When they leave my room or leave my presence, constantly I'm praying for them. No bullshit. And I'm not on some like, oh, here we go, this Christian guy just spewing again. It's warfare. I'm trying to get as many people, not fakely, but in real life, to be my friend. I know if you have an issue with me, I know at the end of the day, Andrew Tate had to go through something to become Andrew Tate. So take his philosophy, put it here. If I disagree with it, I'm going to slide it right here, and I'm going to try to diagnose the problem. If he's sick, where is the medicine? And the medicine is speaking of what I feel like. Now, he could take it or he can't take it. Now, I'm not saying I have the medicine. Everybody come follow me. This is what I'm doing. But I'm saying if you have an enemy, the best thing you could do for warfare in your life is get them to be a friend. All of them. Every single one of them. Even if he's like, you look at him and you're like, yo, there's no hope for this guy. There's zero hope for this guy. That's not the case. This is what in movies, when you see a bad villain, this is him. I'm going to take over the world. I'm going to use this and destroy. But in real life, a bad person's usually put in a position they don't want to be a part of. or they're uncomfortable, or they make an accidental mistake that leads to a life. Bro, you didn't wake up one day and been like, I'm gonna be a drug addict and ruin my whole family's life. Yeah. You woke up one day and you were like, I'm gonna dabble in this. And what I'm saying is, at the end, it always starts with a tiny bit of a dabble. Like that girl that fell in love with a guy that is racist. Bro, she didn't look at this guy like, God bless, he's tall, rich, and he hates black people. This is great. She didn't start this way. And maybe in racism, I know this, I'll bring up racism in the way that I see it. When 9/11 happened and I was in the 3rd grade, a part of me understood why that white kid in class was mad at me. I got it. A little part of me was like, dude, somebody that looked like me just caused a lot of pain to 2,000 people. I have to have some type of empathy to be like, yo, bro, I get it. I understand why you're talking like this, but it ain't me. I'm this, and that. And if you could come at a level of like understanding, yo, this guy hates me because of this reason, there has to be a reason.
Empathy. I mean, what he's describing right now is specifically and perfectly defined empathy. Having understanding for and a feeling, a potential feeling for what your opposing viewer is feeling is the only way to relate and connect and drive through that division. That is, we say this all the time. And the unfortunate part of it is empathy is not something you can go buy at the store. It's not something that someone can teach you. It's not a lesson you can be.
That's the hard part about it, though. And you mentioned this, I think, in one of the last episodes. Charlemagne is a lot of empathy, especially if you have trouble understanding and getting there in your head, like I did, comes from trauma. Yeah. Right. Some people just haven't been through shit to make them.
It's wisdom. It's definitely wisdom.
Yeah, for sure.
But wisdom could come in many ways, bro. It doesn't. You don't have to go through it. You could watch it and be like,
I agree, but every person's different. And there's a quote that Max said. I think I've mentioned this before, and I like it. It's experience is the secret ingredient between knowledge and wisdom.
True.
So for me, it is that experience. I don't
mean to interrupt you, but how do you take in the experience? You watch a movie, that's an experience. You watch a play,
it's not the same. As Charlemagne said, it's just not the same. When you go through an event in your life,
it's that not the same. That doesn't mean you don't have.
No, you can glean and you can take learnings from it for sure. But when you go through, and here's the other thing with it too, that trauma can also push you in one of two ways. So you can either take your trauma, learn from your trauma, become empathetic, become a better person, or you have a villain origin story. His mom and dad were killed at the grocery store in front of him, and now what is he? He's a murderer. He's a serial killer. So it's tricky, bro. This is not simple stuff. I think because the main audience and the main people that are talking about this specific situation are such a young group, they like to use absolute and specific statements. Andrew Tate was deplatformed by the man. That's it. This conversation is so deep.
Well, they probably thought it was a woman.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, Susan.
I guess
Susan kicked him off.
I don't know. I guess my
I think we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
But also just to circle back to the guy that I did forgive, I saw him and I was like, hey, bro, blah, blah, blah. And I remember looking in his eyes.
The guy who called you a terrorist in the 3rd grade?
No, I'm sorry. I had a recent issue with somebody.
Okay.
And so in real life, I went up to him. We were at the beach and I was like, hey, blah, blah, blah. I could see in his eyes, he was kind of like, what the fuck? Like, why are we good like this? Because I was really good about it. Short story, a few months later, and mind you, I didn't do this for this reason. I'm just giving an example. Yeah. I was stuck in a position where the door was closed on me, and there was only one fucking guy that I knew that could open up the door for my problem. And I was like, oh, we're good now. So I texted him, and I was like, hey, man, do you think you can help me with it? 10 minutes later, it was all gone. And it was just a really big learning lesson to me.
Yeah,
I'm not going to take somebody's bad experience that turned him into an asshole in my point of view, say, fuck this guy. If I forgave him, for me, in the end, you don't know how that could benefit you. So really forgiving somebody and moving on could help you more than it could even help them. It's really for you.
For sure. I forgave KSI for beating me, and then we started Prime. So I see what you're saying.
Yeah, dude. If you want to be rich and successful,
forgive and forget.
Love.
Dude. And just on like a final cap on it too, like I don't hate that guy at all. I don't hate. Even slightly. I don't have any bad feelings towards him whatsoever. I hope that you can, even in that video he posted, you could already see him starting to kind of feel like
the good news.
He was okay. Like, yo, I've pushed a little bit too far. Yep. And by the way, I don't even know that he hadn't already started to implement that. I think
as alpha as you can be, dog, I'm telling you, there's a toll it takes on your mental health
to be at war.
that he thinks he's just a stoic warrior at all times.
Yeah.
When the whole world's coming down on you, that's not easy, man.
Yeah, it's not. It sucks. And
for that reason, I have empathy for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
But Gary Vee once told me this, bro. You sleep in the fucking bed you make, and you have to take full accountability for the shit that you do in your life. And he's got to do that. And if he can do that and find himself using his gift,
gift,
by
bro.
the way,
gift, bro.
gift.
I mean,
he can do great shit. It's gonna take some time.
Yeah.
We need some time to unwire and correct this weird toxic masculine imbalance that may have made a little comeback. By the way, dog, you all know me. I'm down to be a fucking alpha male. Yo, protect, provide 100% through and through, no matter what. But there's a limit to, like, what does a true alpha look like, right? Do you need to talk about it? You got to talk about how cool you are. You wanna talk about what you do?
In fact, you don't talk.
Or you just be a fucking man.
Yeah.
You be an actual man. Protect the people you love. Provide for the people you love, and have that in your back pocket, knowing that you are it already. And you don't need shit to validate what you think you have.
We fight over labels. In every vertical, that it's always a label.
I was an alpha male.
You call me
man.
this, or you're fighting for that, and it's just like it doesn't matter. Words became so much more powerful than it should. Like
I think words are powerful. Words are powerful.
I didn't know that until like my late 20s. I was like, fuck.
Words are powerful.
Words are very powerful.
You use certain words that have feeling attached to it or that are charged, and you can radicalize, you can convince, you can make impressions on people just because of language. Language is what made our species, the Homo sapiens sapien, start to develop organizational infrastructure, tools, groups, planning,
but
right?
also
like,
war,
everything,
you know
everything. It comes with both. But language, words, the way we communicate is like one of the sole reasons that we are the way we are now in 2022.
And you're seeing this wave that I keep talking about on social media, which also includes a subcomponent of it, which is, why are you guys getting so mad? Like, they're just like, dude, words hurt people, bro. Words, as you just said, words are very powerful, extremely powerful, and very hard to take back once you say them.
You can weaponize language like you would never fucking understand. It's been done before in war and propaganda. That's all it is. Like, you're rallying a country or a subset of people to believe a certain thing just because of how you speak. It's everything, bro. The what you speak and what you say matters. And you can't just go saying random fucking shit that has a dangerous effect to it. Like that.
Hey, and also, side note, I think like these kids are also young, and even like I had a guy come up to me last night at the club that was like 23, and he asked me, he's like, you know, out of nowhere, he's just standing next to me. It's like 2 a.m. He's like, yo, I'm 23 years old and I've never hooked up with a girl before.
Whoa.
And I looked over and my first thought is, I've never met you before. You didn't even tell me your name. Like, he was just in my ear.
Yeah.
And I think we like overact, like,
that's hilarious.
You didn't call him a pussy?
No. I said, you know what I said to him? I said,
get some tail, brother.
No. In my mind, maybe I was thinking that, but in all reality, I said to him, yo, bro, that's completely okay. Like that's how I am.
Of course it's okay, but let's dog on him a little bit.
Yes, no. Hold on.
You're lying to him. No, it's not.
Okay.
You should have smacked him in the ring and whispered in the ear. It should have been you in the KSI ring.
No, but I think that what a lot of these younger guys are looking for is a role model that will instruct them the ways to have girls or to get girls, right? And I think that was a part of Tate's, you know, aura, was that he was top G. He was the guy that could show you how to do it. But he just created this really unrealistic approach.
Bro, because
none of your audience has Bugattis.
No, they don't talk like him. They don't speak like him. They don't have his confidence.
But thank God, bro. But not the confidence. But dude, you're not looking for someone who could throw on a Richard Mille or pull up to the club in a Bugatti or fly in a G5 or that chartered jet where he was calling me your boyfriend. Like
he got a chartered jet
and get girls. I promise you, I know so many fucking internet gurus. Logan, you can attest to this. We know so many internet gurus who have made millions of dollars, and they wear the Richard Mille and they show up on the G5 to Basel, to Art Basel, and they want to come to our table at the club. Because there's a difference between oozing fucking confidence and being just a cool, nice person and having to create some fake aura for yourself to get women. It's just,
I get what you're saying. Why be
just-
Andrew Tate when you could be us? We're way cooler. You come to our,
Not only
know
that,
that I'm-
not only
that
that,
is kinda what I
we
guess
can
is
post
what
on
I'm saying.
Instagram.
Low blow, man. Low blow.
Speaking of
by the
low
way, how
blows-
could like
Oh,
he can't make a comeback? I was just thinking about it. Like,
No,
No, he
not
can
yet,
come
not
back.
yet, not yet.
Yeah.
He's gonna. What he'll need to do, truthfully, is set his beliefs right. He needs to go through a little bit of a personal reform. I think it's 2022. We're not fucking cavemen anymore. Women are equals and partners if you're in a healthy, loving, stable relationship, or whatever your relationship is with women. And then I think he'll have to like lobby, honestly, or like go around and like almost pitch himself.
yeah.
Does the donation help?
So this is what I watched in his video. So he made a donation to, I think it was like a woman's foundation or something of a significant amount of money.
Healthy,
like,
yeah. Sure.
like a million, 1.2 million,
yeah.
I think. And in his video, he was complaining about how it didn't get any headlines, right? Like his problem with it was that they make headlines on all his negative stuff, but when he does something positive, where's the headline on that, right? And the issue is you only did something positive because people are coming after you. You can't just throw money at a problem and expect it to go away, which is it's a tell that you don't quite understand what's happening here.
Oh, he did
right?
it after he got.
After, yeah. That's not going to work, Bucko.
And-
Like he's like as
I thought it was
as
before,
smart
yeah.
as he is, he really thinks that you just throw $1 million.
Well, hold on. Let's slow down for a second. In the very quick interim post Tokyo,
Wait, I did it. I did it.
Correct.
I didn't complain about not getting a headline. I did it
Yeah,
to do
correct.
it. I did it because it was the right thing to
Correct.
do. And I would never have gone, where's my fucking headline about the
Correct.
good thing I did, even though I did this cascade of negative shit. You can't do that. You don't understand.
and you knew, maybe not at the time, but you definitely know now that no matter how big that donation was, that was 1/4% of what you needed to do to grow out of that issue and to reform your and,
Quarter of a percent.
Yeah,
Not,
and
it's like
nothing,
nothing.
and to create a new reformed image of yourself. Listen, man, I hope he becomes a better person. I have no bad feelings towards him or his brother or anyone, and even they want to talk a little shit, poke a little fun, I'm fine with that. But like, I hope he pulls his shit together, learns what he has to do to continue on and make the world a better
how
place.
crazy would this be? Oh my God. Whoa. Japan happened. KSI called me out for a fight. I said, yes, I fought him. Tate happened. Got removed from the internet. KSI calls him out for a fight. Is this the beginning of Tate's redemption arc? A fight through KSI? And is
I was gonna bring that up.
KSI's entire existence beyond all the things he does? Saved careers. Holy
He
shit.
just brings people back from the grave.
Save career.
Maybe this is, but that's my question to JJ. He's like, do you want to fucking platform this guy?
Oh, see, here's the
Maybe.
we were talking.
I don't know.
We
They
were
probably
talking.
said the same shit about you too. I bet the sidemen were like, "Do you want to?"
Oh yeah,
Maybe.
yeah,
Maybe.
100%. The issue with the platforming was this platforming is a new discussion just as of a week ago, because a week ago he had the greatest platform on earth. He was the biggest thing on earth up until his deplatforming, right? But now that question has merit. Listen, like all those get Tate on messages that we all got for months, it wasn't like we were hitting him up saying, come on the show. We could have been the first ever.
Oh, I forgot to say that. I forgot to say it. Yo,
bro. Like,
yeah.
we can have any fucking guest we want. We have one of the largest platforms on the planet. If you combine YouTube views and Spotify listens, we are probably in the top 3 of the largest programs on the planet. If we want to have a guest on the show, we'll have a guest on the fucking show. The conversation was there. It actually was you, because I said, are we going to do this? Are we going to debate them?
Look. That episode would have gotten an amazing amount of views. I took one quick look at this guy and said, this is not my steez. I do not feel like putting this guy on my platform to talk about his fucking bullshit, because it is bullshit. And when you poke through it, you realize it's bullshit, because not even he can make sense of the bullshit he's saying, right? He just says shit to say shit. It got him in trouble. He got bit in the ass, and now he's whining on his fucking couch
I don't
in a
know why
room.
you would want to do that. Like, I almost want to see him find a new craft now. Like maybe boxing
woodworking.
or going back into fighting.
Go be a kickboxer. I mean, that'd be
Bro, because dude, why do you want to do that?
He's
Why
getting
do you
older,
want to?
though. He's getting older. He's out of the game. He's smoking cigars. We'll see what happens. I don't give a fuck. It's good. It will be entertaining, though. And by the way, that's why I live my life, to be entertained.